Welcome to Coming Home to Yourself, the podcast for high-achieving women who look like put together on the outside, but feel like they're quietly crumbling inside. I'm Yagoda, a coach, a mother, a woman who's walked through public criticism, private self-doubt, and the quiet ache of wondering if I was ever enough. I've been bullied. I've been dismissed for being just a mom. And for years, I questioned my voice until I began to come home to myself. This is your space to exhale, to stop performing strength and start living your truth. Each week, I'll share honest stories, gentle insights, and soul-deep shifts to help you reconnect with the woman beneath the roles, the one you've forgotten, the one you miss, the one who's always been there. If you're tired of being the strong one, the capable one, the one who never breaks, you belong here. This is the invitation to slow down, to soften, and to finally feel safe inside your own life. You were never broken. You were never too much. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to come home to yourself. Let's begin. The headline didn't say I was unqualified because of my knowledge, work. It didn't question my skills or my degrees or my experiences. It said, she is a mother of 3. As if that, just that, somehow made me not enough. This episode, it's not about public shame or headlines or motherhood, really. It's about what happens inside when other people question something you were already quietly wondering yourself. People usually tell me I give the impression of a very confident person, smart, reliable, strong. And I believed that and felt that mostly. But in those first years after third child, I started quietly asking myself, can I really keep up with everything? Can I still perform at that level with 3 small kids? It wasn't that I lacked confidence overall. I had built a lot of it over the years. But there was this little voice that started to whisper, are you sure you can do this? And when the press picked up that voice and gave it a headline, that's when it got really loud. Let me take you back to that moment. It happened 10 years ago. I was finishing my 3rd maternity leave, had 3 little ones at home, and I had just been appointed as a member of the HR commission that interviews supervisory board candidates. It was a professional milestone for me, something I was proud of. I had the approval from my boss, I had the support, and honestly, I felt, why not? But then someone gave information to the press that I was a mother of 3, that I had just finished maternity leave, the 3rd one, and suddenly leading newspapers in my country were writing about me. Not one article, serious. But not about my skills, not about my qualifications. They questioned whether I was even suitable for the role because I had 3 kids. Somehow that made me unprofessional, incapable. My motherhood canceled out everything I had worked for. The implication was clear. She can't do this. She's not professional enough. She's a mom. Wow. At the same time, at my regular 9 to 5 job, because this position I have been appointed to was mandatory, and on top of my 9 to 5, we had a meeting theme. And guess what? It was about my appointment. I had already received full support from my boss. He knew I could do it. But some of my colleagues thought I didn't deserve it. And I remember so clearly, one of them asked me during the meeting, "Do you really think you're capable of doing this job? What skills or knowledge do you even have that makes you the right person for this?" Can you imagine? Right there, in front of everyone. And it caught me completely off guard, and it hit deep. I was already dealing with the articles, the public doubt. Now it was coming from people I worked with too. I started to spiral. I felt insecure. I started questioning my own abilities. I even thought about resigning from the commission. And the worst part? I was angry, mostly at myself, because I let it get to me. Because deep down, a part of me had already been asking the same thing. Can I really do this? With 3 kids? Am I sure? And then the thought came. If I were a man, a father of 3, would anyone even be questioning this? It's funny how some things can get to you, even when you are confident. I had done hard things before. That was never an issue. But the combination of the public exposure, my work colleagues, and my own doubts created something new. And it cracked something. And that's when imposter syndrome crept in. And it didn't knock gently, it barged in. But despite all of this, I never gave up. I didn't resign. Though I thought about it, I stayed. It took me a while to get out of that state, a month, maybe 2. But I remember the exact moment something shifted, the moment I found my grounding again. A group of my closest female friends, women I've known since our student years, gave me a gift. It was a carved image of a girl in a wood with flowers, and a quote, "You can do anything." They trusted me more than I trusted myself at that moment. They had my back. They saw something in me that I had temporarily lost sight of. And I remember thinking, they see my strength and my abilities. Why shouldn't I trust myself? They reminded me of who I was, who I have always been, before the headlines, before the doubt, before the noise. And that's when I decided I would not let someone else's opinion define me ever again. Can you guess what I answered the colleague who questioned my abilities at that meeting? Even though I was shaking inside, I still looked at him and simply said, "Who are you to judge?" And that was it. That ended the conversation. And from that point on, I stopped explaining myself to people who had already decided not to see me, just to judge me. Looking back, that commission role ended up being one of the best professional experiences I ever had. I've learned so much about myself and also about the people around me. How quick we are to judge women for being mothers. How rare it is to actually acknowledge the capacity it takes to do both. The demanding job, mother role, friend, wife, partner role. And I also learned something else. I learned that real confidence isn't about proving, it's about remembering. It's quiet, it's lit. And sometimes it has shaky hands and an aching heart, but it still shows up anyway. Now, I don't want to paint the picture I never struggled again. That's not real life. We all struggle. That's human. We all slide back sometimes. We all have bad days. We all hear that old voice once in a while. But what's different now is that I don't let it define me. I've learned how to hear the doubt without obeying it, to sit with it, with negative emotions, without spiraling into them, to feel like I'm slipping and still hold on to what I am. And that's what real grounded confidence feels like. It's not a mask. It's not a performance. It's being able to say, I'm here, I'm doing my best, and I don't owe to prove. So if you've ever been called strong, but felt like you were barely holding it together, if you ever doubted yourself just because someone else did, if you ever been told you can't be, please, let their voices be just that, voices, not facts, not your truth. The only one who gets to decide what you're capable of is you. And before I close today, I want to leave you with this. What would change if you started trusting yourself again? Even just a little. Thank you for being here, for listening, for feeling, for letting these words land wherever they needed to. If something stirred in you today, let that be enough. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to rush to fix or change anything. Just keep listening to yourself. And if this episode offered you something, a breath, a truth, a shift, I'd love to know. Come find me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in captions. Or send me a message with a word that spoke to you most. I read every one. Because this isn't just a podcast. It's a return to your body, to your breath, to your heart, to your own voice. And no matter how far you've wandered, you're never too far gone to turn around and come home. Until the next time, take care of yourself.